Windages. The fortress that guards the borders has no shortage of those who would guard it. One, two, three. The hammer swings. For over 7,000 days and nights, he swung the hammer just like this. How he wished the hammer was not falling on an unformed iron billet, but the blades and heads of his enemies. Just like right now. The rest of you, retreat. Your hammer is heavy, but not fast enough. As long as it's heavy enough to break your blade and smash your head in. Oh no. I planned a much better test for you. I wanted to stuff this warehouse full of explosives. And when the catastrophe arrived, give your lives as an offering to human. Of course, mine would be in there too. So that was your plan? Why would I have taken the initiative to seek your cooperation otherwise? I don't see why we should have such enmity between us. I don't think I've ever had to say that word out loud. Maybe it's because... maybe it was how you somehow managed to sneak into human. Somehow disguised yourselves as martial artists to gain the trust of the guards. And then somehow caused chaos all over the city. Turning human into what it is right now. My memory's not that bad yet. The day you first showed up in the city, I recognized you right away. I've waited 20 years for you to come. Such a pity that was just a little accident. Everything was lost. Lucky I still have this hammer of mine. The warehouse is dimly lit, and the glass blade in Lin Yixua's hand turns more and more transparent. The Shanghai Zong seem fearful of her exquisite original arts, and instead of swarming her, they cooperate and slowly begin to encircle her. For such a group to hide in the city for so long, and stay undiscovered, their fighting style doesn't seem to come from any common school or military, and yet they're fierce and unrelenting, but also disciplined and highly organized. Where exactly did they come from? If only I had Chen's sword here to better deal with them. What am I daydreaming for? My top priority is to break out of here and bring the data with me. Hey, let me help. What are you still doing here? I got the cheese out and heard a fight over this way. Sure enough, it was this bunch again. Your friends. They're fine. The messenger and the escorts are all fine. Ming Tie had them locked up, but didn't harm a single one of them. Don't look at me like that. You haven't been forgiven yet. After we clean up these guys, I'll settle the score with you. And it's best you start thinking how to survive this. Then it will be easy to deal with. You don't need to remind me. Yeah. You're not allowed to call me that. Sounds like you know. Distracted? Shut up. Why would I shut? I wasn't talking to you. Anyway, I'm glad you're alright. I will make my apologies after defeating my foe with my own hands. Why do you sound so relieved speaking to me? Because no one actually lost their lives? Because everything is still in your hands? If you had always planned a fake death for the messenger team, why did you ask me to put the cheese on the job? Everyone in the city holds you in the highest regard, and you play games with their lives. To be honest, it's not like I've never wavered. But when you showed up at my door so enthusiastically, saying you wanted to open the first modern logistics company in human, and told me not to consider your father, Zheng Qingye's reputation. How I miss the times when we were young. The force of each blade on him increases, as does the ferocity of the girl screaming at him. Meng Tiayi stops talking, grits his teeth, and swings his hammer. I remember you telling me that you were a well-known figure in Yemen for all the right and wrong reasons. In your day, you trained with the Grandmaster to kill your enemies, and quick to exact revenge. In order to exact justice for the people who were robbed, you chased the bandits for more than 100 li out in the desert and destroyed their stronghold. You know exactly how many streets, shops, and tents there are in the city. You know every part of Yan that your sworn brothers in the army hail from. But right now, do you even care about Yemen anymore? You're way more pedantic and muddled than my father, who refuses to let go of his old ways. Times change, and so will we. Escorts will turn into logistics companies, and the Sword Forge will turn into a regular workshop. No one can stop this, and you shouldn't even try. No matter how much you hate, how much resentment you hold in your heart. You have no right to test Yemen with a catastrophe, just to see if you can hold a candle to its old days. How dare you? Are you even worthy of the city? Meng, are you even worthy of yourself? Du Yaoye, watch out. Huh? Oh, he got distracted. Meng Tiayi has never once looked back. A duel between masters does not tolerate even the slightest distraction, let alone an enigmatic like this woman. He isn't sure if he fully comprehends exactly what Du Yaoye has been scolding him over, only that it is loud and muddled, with a lot of emotion. But he hears Lin Yuxia's warning loud and clear, and turns his head on reflex. Meng Tiayi throws his hammer in his hand, knocking away the enemies enclosing onto Du Yaoye's back. At the same time, a long and narrow blade cuts his spine open. Uncle Meng! Jingyi Logistics is a good idea, but I won't get to see the seeds sprout myself. Have you never considered the Jiang who you speak of is still here, just in a different form? The rest of you are next. The woman steps over the body lying on the ground. Blood drips from the extremely long blade. She's coming. I can see that. Since escorting the messengers was a trap, that means Jingyi Logistics has yet to really open. I'm not sure if you'll be willing to accept my request to deliver something. Right now, this box holds the true catastrophe data that must be handed over to the Lord Exorcist. Take my token with you and he will let you in. And then what? Then you start hoping that it's not too late. Don't give me that. You'll have me run off while you stay and play the hero? You should know very well, I'm not that good of a person. But someone has to get the data out. This woman is so unfathomably powerful. She even killed Meng Tiayi. With my arts, I might be able to hold them back and create a quick opening for you. What about you? Who knows? What are you talking about? If you think you can hold them back for me, then we'll switch roles. Sorry for lying to you about your friends. You're not the only one who has lied to me. When I was yelling at Meng Tiayi earlier, that was all for you too, right? I forgot to tell you this. Honestly, it was impressive for someone to travel so far and work so hard to make a living. Now's not the time for... Remember this. If you don't make it out, Yemen won't make it through the catastrophe either. This is a tall order, but Jingyi Logistics accepts. Close your eyes. Lin Yuxia shakes her hands, and the glass shards fall to the ground, instantly turning to quicksand. Streams of fine sand flow from the corners in the ceiling, quickly converging as one. Still feel like putting up a... The sand rises. In the cramped warehouse, a sandstorm forms. Something catch fire over there? Could it be arson? Let's go take a look. The sand sluice? Who would even come here? True. The military whistle sounds from the top of the city. The sky is already pitch black and the outline of the full moons can be vaguely seen through the clouds. If the old smith has finished his work and returned to the sword forge to find her missing, he could probably figure out that he should look for her over at the sand sluice. The nomadic city foundations chew through the ground, the high-speed turbines grinding up oversized obstacles, along with tons of sand and gravel. Spitting them out was a deafening sound. The old smith was right. There are no guards posted here, because no one would ever want to leave the city this way. It's almost time. 3 times you've gotten away from me, and lucky enough, you've once again walked yourself into a dead end. I don't know you. The sword on your back has nothing to do with our plans, but an object hiding 1/12 of the Bestial Sui's consciousness is of great interest to someone. Bestial Sui? What are you talking about? Sounds like you don't know anything. That makes you even less worthy of holding that sword. Hand it over. A black halo behind your head. An Anasa. So what if I am? An Anasa actively mingling in a Yanni's nomadic city. How ridiculous. Have you forgotten where you came from? Forgotten what happened to your people? Why you were suffering out in the wilderness, aimlessly looking for food and shelter? Did Yan ever help you? Anasa, you should join the Shanghai Zone organization. All I see is the terrible things you've done in the city. Then you're a fool. The sand will soon disperse. There's no way I could match the women Chief Wei and Dad couldn't beat together. But I can at least delay her for a while longer. Buy Du Yao Ye a little more time to make her way out. You're scared of me, but you gave another opportunity to escape. It seems that after all these years, you people have not changed a bit. Consider it an honor to die a brave death. Gallantry isn't exactly my style, and I'm not about to let you kill me. A crunch sounds, and within the next second, the yellow sand condenses into a glass blade. Trying a sneak attack? You lot really enjoy your cheap tricks. To try and sneak an attack while ignoring the disparity in strengths is just asking to die. In the end, so many means were employed to force Meng Tie out and obtain the catastrophe data. I guess I could count this as having done a good deed. Oh well. The glass sword crumbles inch by inch, the long blade already falling on her brow. Qi Zhao, rise Qi. A crimson sword tears through the airborne sand and dust. Oh shit! God, she's beautiful. I was wondering if Rose Island was gonna show up. Swords clash. The sound rings through the air, wrought by friction. Lin Yuxia's sword shifts its form between sand and glass, countless shards in the air reflecting a silhouette within. The figure stands before her, tall and straight as a poplar. How did you know I would be here? What are you talking about? I saw your arts in the distance. I figured you were asking me to come save you. Don't flatter yourself. I had no idea you were coming to Human. So why are you here? Just passing through. Did you follow me here like you did into Solace? Wasn't that you following me? You must have heard about the assassination attempt on Wei. If you've got time to talk at me, you've got time to explain. What exactly is going on here? The sand and dust have dissipated completely. Not a soul remains in the warehouse. I don't have time. We have to get to the city gates. Du Yaoye has been in the city for a while, but she never realized the streets went on for so long. Just 100 meters feels more difficult than traversing the mountain roads of Junri Peak. A small box in her arms feels heavier than any quarry shouldered by the mountain pole carriers. Be it the escort association or logistics company, things will always be the same. For the sake of our livelihood, we put our lives on the line. If you wish to make a name for yourself in this business, you need to understand how heavy the weight on your shoulder is. I never forget all the stories about escort missions Dad would tell me, even if he kept repeating them over and over again. Or maybe because he did. The principle is the same every time, but you only really understand it after experiencing it yourself. Faster. Faster. I can see the gates. They've almost caught up to me. Du Yaoye is skilled in the arts of using the wind to anticipate danger. If she focuses without distraction, she could absolutely dodge this arrow. The arrow pierces her right shoulder, causing the box to spill out of her grasp. She hastily reaches out with her left hand to catch it, but ends up falling to the ground, along with the box. Silence her and retrieve the object. Mister, it's you. I was chasing another group of bad guys and ended up here. Last night, when I hurried over to the Sword Forge, I saw the Mandarins taking you away with them. What's going on here? Don't want to talk about it. Help me out. Let's take care of these guys first. Good plan. Loose your arrows. Impudence. A stretch of silk, a patch of snow, or perhaps the gleaming of a sword. The arrows fall to the ground, neatly sliced in two. You're the one who saved Zuele last night. Help me. I have something very important to deliver to the Lord Exorcist. He's at the outer city tower, and you're seriously wounded. Can you still run? Save the goods, then the men. Very well, then leave them to us. Right. That envoy Lin of yours is still holed up in the warehouse, fighting some evil woman. Go help her. Yixia. Right. You get moving. Again with public acts of violence. You Shanghai Zong have gone too far. Master, where's the girl? I almost got her, but these two stopped me. Useless. Hurry after and get the data. You shall not pass. You think you can stop me? Let's see if you can dodge my blade another time. So she's the evil lady Du was talking about? If she's here, then that means Yixia is... I'm fine. Finally caught up. Yixia, is that Superintendent Chen? That's her, alright. With Du Yaoye. She's already on the move. Good. Then there's only one thing left to do here. Stop that woman. Boring. It seems after all these years, you people have not changed a bit. You don't know how to respect power. A colony of ants is still just ants. The wind blows away the clouds and moonlight shines on the long and empty street. The road is clean, save for a few yellow leaves swirling around the stone bricks. It's the kind of cleanliness that comes after decline of prosperity. Like a bleak autumn night. It all ends here. Autumn night? So she's behind all the chaos that's been plaguing the city. It's time to put an end to her troublemaking. Be careful, her arts are extremely strange. Even my father and Chief Wei working together couldn't capture her. She's got a lot of tricks up her sleeve. You're telling me that this woman, talking all that trash, is the one who tried to assassinate Wei Yanwu? You scared? You've got to be kidding me. Sounds perfect. We'll knock her out right here and now shove it in Wei Yanwu's face. Alright? Let's settle this here and now. This is like the Avengers, what girls get it done. it's the girl scene. Someone. Anyone. You again. Didn't we just let you out? Keep making noise and it's no more Mr. Nice Guy. Daisy. This box is holding something that can save the city. So shut up and give it to Zo. This is data for the Imperial Astronomical Bureau. And the token? Girl, how did this come into your possession? Hey, wake up. Hurry, call a medic. Where exactly did this woman come from? Has Superintendent Chen finally met her match? Chi Xiao can't cut through her arts. If you can even call it arts in the first place. She doesn't seem to know any kung fu, but her sword play is ridiculously quick. It's like the kind of kung fu you find in those fake forbidden technique manuals that they say will teach you forbidden technique manuals that say they'll teach you transcend space and time. How to transcend space and time? Sure. I'll trade a few more blows with her and see if I can figure it out. Careful now, she's not playing with us. Slip up once and you might die. Even if you don't, you still will. You want a few more rounds with me? Sure. Let's start with you. This time, her blade flies quicker than her previous bouts. Waifu can only feel the autumn wind brushing against her face, leaving her no time to react. Suddenly, a wall appears in front of her, or rather, a man's back as thick and wide as a wall. Waifu looks at the wall in front of her that she last saw over a decade ago. Still, the sight overlaps with the one in her memories. The reunion comes sooner than she expected and catches her off guard. So this is the one Lee mentioned. The one who's been bothering everyone. You again? Turns out I've been sleeping bad because I was about to run into someone I'd rather not see. Huai Tianpei sweeps a quick glance behind him. His movements are light and quick, but Waifu catches them perfectly clearly. I didn't want to fight anybody until my match with the Grand Master. Guess today's a cheat day. So yeah, you got some skills, but I can't say I know any kung fu school where you bully your juniors for practice. If you're itching for a fight, I'll take you on. Why? You had a disadvantage unarmed. I'll lend you my sword. Don't need it. Anything my fist can't break, a sword won't cut either. Don't overestimate yourself. Ah! Oh. Waifu gets a front row seat to the action. Sidestep. Chop, quick step, twist, elbow strike. All moves she has learned herself. Seeing the pained expression on his opponent's face, it is clear that Huai Tianpei is using his full strengths. Waifu imagines what it feels like to be slammed into a wall. Right. That's some blade. I dodged it by a hair, but it caught my skin. Damn you! After being knocked back several feet, the woman steadies herself with her blade. The tremendous impact seems to have little lasting effect on her, as she lifts her sword again and assumes a defensive stance. But being knocked off balance has made her furious, and anger whips into a tangible wind, with everyone present feeling a chill run up their spines at the same time. The moonlight intensifies. Still got more tricks under her sleeve. This sensation again. Oh? Her chi feels different. Great. Let's go another round. The woman raises her head and glances towards the sky. The clouds drifting across and obscuring half the moonlight. She lowers her half-raised blade. Since the girl already delivered the data, I'm not going to bother with you any longer. It doesn't matter. You're out of time. Human City won't escape this calamity. Well, this is awkward. Seems like we weren't needed. We did witness a splendid showdown, though, so I wouldn't say it was a waste. The young will surpass us in time. I assumed you were referring to that fellow. I'd say Chen here has already learned a good chunk of what you have to offer. What do you think of her swordplay? Skillful, but not yet the peak of perfection. Oh? So what you mean to say is... Brother Meng! A sorrowful howl resounds through the long and deserted street. Back at the agency, Waifu saw plenty of soap operas depicting children reunited with their parents. Some cried bitterly, while others threw furniture around. The actors' intense performances felt strange and unfamiliar to Waifu. When watching with Hung or Lee, they would always silently change the channel. Try to imagine what it would be like when she saw him again. The pent-up resentment, anger, confusion, and dissatisfaction that accumulated over a decade. How would she express herself to him? But at this very moment, the man standing right in front of her feels less real than the cold wind blowing on her face. You came to my rescue, so thanks for that. Sure. Anything else you'd like to say? I'm good. Then prepare yourself. All right. Dad, what does Hung Mei Wing Chun mean? Of all the countless kung fu styles under heaven, you choose this one, huh? Alright, I'll teach you this one. Which style do you use, Dad? I want to learn the same one as you. I'll teach you mine, but not now. You still haven't mastered the basics. Once you've got a solid foundation, then you can learn my kung fu. Okay. I've sparred with him so many times that I've lost count. The moment our fists connect, my arm adapts with my muscle memory. More submerged memories also flow out of my mind. A small courtyard with blue brick and stone flooring. A large porcelain water jar always filled full. Wooden stakes wrapped with cloths. And a tall figure whose face could never be clearly seen. That was my world, day after day. Diligently practicing and enduring hardships, year after year. Cultivating my mind and tempering my character. My sparring partner changed from my father to a wooden dummy. never letting myself rest even for a day. Over the past decade, practicing kung fu became as natural as eating and sleeping. I think I asked him the question, why? Why did you teach me kung fu? Why did you have me become a warrior just like you? The intertwining of moves and techniques. This simple and genuine connection. You've taught me so much. But I was never chasing you. I found my own goals. I know why I practice kung fu. And I won't change the path I chose just because a man's back popped up in front of me. And I will surpass you. A fist lands on the man's robust chest, as if hitting a thick wall. It gives off a muffled sound. You've improved over the years, but you're still a long way from matching me. Big talk, but I wouldn't even have landed a hit on you back then. If this is as far as you've come in a dozen years, I'll catch up to you real soon. My daughter enjoys some big talk. That's not a compliment. I lose. Why Tianpei twirls his beard, thinks for a long time, then suddenly bursts into laughter. That move where you kicked me in the chin doesn't look like anything I taught you. What fun. Anyway, I'm heading back to the clinic. Why? Wait a second. Do you need me for something? Where's the Grandmaster's sword? And Zuele? The sword's with the girl, and that Mandarin boy probably went after her. Can't say for sure. I'm pretty much done with all this stuff. Wait. The Grand Master wants to see you. Oh? I've been going easy on you since you're an Anasa. But hand over the sword now, or I'll show no mercy. No. Her wound reopens, and the young Anasa girl holds the sword in front of her chest with her left hand, throwing her chakram with her right, barely deflecting the enemy's attack. She falls back step by step, as her arms feel heavier and heavier. It just occurred to me that even if I let you go, you still need a way out. How did you know I would be here? I grew up here. I was a mischievous boy who tried to sneak out of the city through the sand sluices, and was duly punished by my father for doing so. But only someone as stubborn as you would dare take this way. Still want to stop me? Tell me, did you come to Yumen just for the sword? Yes. And you wish to present the sword as an offering? Yes. And after that, will you return it? Well, yes, I will. That eccentric from the clinic promised me earlier that if you broke your word, he would bring you back himself. But having said all that, retrieving the sword was, and is, still my duty. So while I have no qualms about taking you at your word just this once, I will get that sword back. Even if I have to jump into sand sluice myself. You know Chanjin. You know the idiom. Literally. A promise worth 1,000 gold. Break your word and I will drag you back here personally. Alright. You're wasting your effort. Hurt as she is, she'll die when she jumps down there. 3/4 past the hour of view. The turbine should have slowed down by now. There's no time to waste. Get going! The young candle holder turns around to face his powerful foe, and the light gleams from his sword unsheathing. The young Anasa girl hugs the sword tightly in her arms, and leaps down into the churning sand. The observatory has recalculated its results according to the information we have just received. The catastrophe has manifested as a sandstorm, and its scale is about 3 times larger than the one that struck the city 4 years ago. The prior misinformation has already cost us too much time. The situation is not optimistic. Zhou Zhanliao looks at the box in his hands, the surface clearly worn down by gravel and sand. A few days ago, was there another person looking at this box just as he is now? How did he feel? If there was a mirror in his military tent, Zhou Zhanliao would have noticed the strands of silver hair on his scalp, multiplying over the past few days. Let's get to the point. Presently, human is in the middle of the catastrophe's trajectory and won't be able to avoid it, even if we change course. We have but one method available to us. We can split human up into blocks and disperse in different directions to evade the catastrophe. How much time would that cost us? Reconnecting after separation and returning to full speed will probably take about 6 months. There's no time. It is the only feasible way to ensure the city's safety. It is not the city's safety we want to secure. The general lingers in his tent. The night outside the window seems still seemingly serene. The unseen danger lurks far away, but he knows it is still out there. He has seen these sights for decades, but he has never loathed the vast desert as much as he does right now. If we can only ensure the safety of our people. General, you mean to prepare the front for direct catastrophe impact and evacuate all civilians from the east side of the core city to the west for resettlement. Activate all defensive fortifications and station Imperial Astronomical Bureau casters on the city walls to resist the aftershocks. How long will repairs take after the fact? General Zhou, the risk is too great. How long will they take? Repairing the front walls and some of the city's infrastructure will take, by a conservative estimate, 3 months. Sure. Time is of the essence, so I urge the general to make a decision as soon as possible. Mr. Liang, have you come to shackle me to ensure I don't act on my own? I'm here to relay the Grand Tutor's opinion, to trust in General Zhou's judgment. Very well. Prepare to confront the catastrophe. Are we going head on? You crazy?